Good evening, friends. I come to you with the topic people living on a lifetime drugs and self-prescribed drugs. Brothers and sisters, remember very well what we discussed about drugs and said drugs really kill. That statement is so very much serious that we must remember it every day that we live. Now, allow me to remind you a few things. Haven't you wondered why people that are taking ARVs are supposed to be going for liver function test every now and then? It is because the drugs are slowly wasting them out and destroying them, and many of the people that are on ARVs, instead of dying of the HIV/AIDS, are dying of liver problems. It's not only them who are on a lifetime drugs. And allow me to mention here that when I say a lifetime drugs, I mean those people who are taking drugs for the rest of their life, or who have a prescription which they need to take for the rest of their life. Now, people that are on ARVs, people that are on BP treatment, and so many others, those that are diabetic, are taking drugs in such a way. So friends, if drugs kill and you are taking drugs every day until the day that you die, how can you protect yourself that you should remain healthy even under these adverse conditions? Here are some of the issues that we have raised. First of all, you must appreciate very well how your body manages to take away drugs from your body. That is why we looked at this topic so seriously, and we want to repeat it. You must understand how your body can get rid of toxins, which include drugs. And the major route that the body uses to take away toxins from the body, first of all, we discovered that it is through urinating. The drug that is in the body, as it is being metabolized, as it is being broken down, some harmful substances are being neutralized and the body wants to excrete them. So if it is the drug that dissolves in water, those components, that the metabolites that dissolve in water, are dissolved in the water and taken for filtration to the kidneys and then passed to the bladder, so that when a person goes to urinate, the drug is taken outside the body. Remember, we mentioned very well that you are not safe until the drug is outside the body. So if we find that one of the easiest ways that the body gets rid of this is through urinating, then how can a person support urinating? By drinking a lot of water every day, in and out. You must ensure that your water intake is not below a 2.5 liters if you are a person of average height. If you have a huge stature and you are taking these lifetime drugs, you must ensure that you take a lot of water, at least up to 3.5 liters per day. Now, understand also, my brother, that there are certain drugs that do not dissolve in water, and these have bigger molecules. Therefore, when you take them, they will not be filtered through the sieve of the kidneys, and so they are taken back in the system to the liver for further breaking down, and they are dissolved in oils and in the bowel. They are excreted on the byproducts of digestion, which are the feces, for elimination from the body, so that you can be safe. And therefore, if we are to be safe from this type of drugs, we have to ensure that every person that is on such type of a drug goes to the toilet at least a minimum of once for bowel movement. A person needs to defecate at least once. And so you must take a lot of roughage, both soluble and insoluble roughage. Allow me to mention here just as a bypass that a full-grown woman needs at least 25 grams of roughage, soluble and insoluble, and a man needs up to 30 grams of roughage, soluble and insoluble fiber per day. Okay, allow me to rush through and say this is how you are going to clean your system so that the toxics are taken out of the body. Not only that, my brothers and sisters, we also saw that another way that the body gets rid of toxic substances is through sweating. And you know that sweating can even be induced. This community hates sweating so much because we don't have work, and every time women are walking around, they are carrying puffs and powder to protect themselves from sweating. No, don't hate sweating like that, because it cleanses your body. You must ensure that once in a while you must sweat. If you do not sweat but you are taking these drugs, make sure that at least you do even steaming, even 2 or 3 times in a week, so that in those particular days you have excessive sweat. In other words, excessive expulsion of waste products or toxic substances from the body, so that at every time the load of toxicity in your body is very much minimized all the time. Okay, so another issue that I need to remind my listeners here never to take lightly is the issue of puffing. Remember, friends, we feel shy, and many times we will stay with the gases that are not needed in the stomach. Keep them like that. Every time they want to move out, you tighten up you hold the brakes. Every time it wants to get out, you hold the brakes. This is not good. If you feel that the gas wants to go out, eliminate it, because you are reducing the toxicity in your own body. And the chances, as you keep doing this, you are helping your liver, which is involved in cleaning up this toxicity. The chances of giving your liver a boost are very high when you keep doing this. So ensure that you follow it. If it is puffing, do it. Defecating, do it. Urinating, do it, so that you clean up. Sweating, even induce it, so that you can clean up the body. You can even induce it by doing a bit of exercises. So through these ways, a person may manage to get rid of extra load of toxic substances from the body. And this is a must, and people that are on a lifetime drugs should take care of this, because that's why we have so many people now that are having complications of the liver, and so many people now are dying of liver complications. It is because we are not cleaning ourselves up. Finally, on this particular portion, I want to mention that another important issue you need to take into account is nutrition. What type of food do you eat, and why do you eat it? You must understand, brothers and sisters, that food is no longer for entertainment to such a person. You must eat food with the full understanding of what it does in your body. And therefore, you need vitamins that we call antioxidants, which will help your immunity, which will help clean up your body system. And the examples of these vitamins are vitamin A, vitamin B3, vitamin C, vitamin E, and we have also the mineral that is called selenium. These are very much available now with the people that supply nutrition supplements. You must ensure that at least every now and then you have such type of a diet that you are going to take. And another very important issue is that do not bypass any kind of vegetable or fruit. As long as you have the means, you must eat fruits in their different colors, in their even vegetables in their different colors and different appearances. The more you do so, the more you keep yourself healthy, the more you supply the vitamins that you so much need to clean up your system, so that you don't have overload of toxicity. Another issue that we want to discuss in this particular video is the issue of self-prescribed drugs. Remember, brethren, there are two major issues here. First of all, when we were discussing the part on dosage, we said dosage is the quantity of drug that you are allowed to take. Now, when we were looking at the quantity that you take in, we said if you take more than necessary, that will be an overdose and you can kill yourself. If you take below what you are supposed to take, and if it is an antibiotic, you may not manage to kill the bacteria in the body. You only make them drowsy, and finally they wake up. In other words, you make them get used to that particular drug, and finally you find that the type of bacteria you have in your body, even when you take that drug, they are no longer responding. They can't die because they have developed resistance, because you used it to entertain them by taking doses that were not complete. And so also another danger in this particular issue is self-poisoning. I have seen people that take Panadol when they are feeling toothache, and they keep taking it as long as there is pain. So they want the Panadol to stop the pain as quickly as possible, and if it cannot stop the pain, then they'll take one now. A few minutes later, they take another one.